My name is Andy Deutmeyer, Executive Chef for Mercy Medical Center in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Today we're going to be talking about how to break down a whole chicken. This is a basic culinary practice that everybody should know, and I think it may be something that may be slipping away from people that we're not using as much as we could be. I bring it up because, in this type of economy, everybody's trying to make, and food prices being what they are, I think everybody's trying to make their food go a little bit further for their money. And whole chickens, you can find them for 80, 90 cents a pound. Just extremely cheap, extremely versatile, and it's something that everybody should know how to do because you can do so much with your whole chicken once you get one. So I have here a standard fryer chicken. They're going to run around 3 to 4 pound averages. Just a good all-around chicken. They're just a nice size. So let's talk about the chicken a little bit first. So we have our whole chicken. This is the way it's going to come. From the store, it's going to be stuffed in the cavity with the neck and giblets and gizzards and things like that. You can use them. You can save them. If you have no use for them, just simply discard them. So you're going to notice the biggest thing when you're breaking down a whole chicken is we want to go with what exists. We're going to use the body itself and the joints within the chicken and where the bones are located in order to tell us where we're going to cut. So on this side here, I have the 2 chicken breasts, and down the middle there's a bone which is called a keel bone, and it kind of runs at a ramp like this, and the chicken breasts kind of go down the side of it like that. Obviously, we have our wings, which we will take apart as well. We have our leg portion, and then above that is our thigh portion. Today we're going to cut this into, we're going to break it down eventually into what is known as 8-piece chicken, which is essentially going to be 8 pieces. You're going to have 2 breasts, 2 wings, 2 legs, 2 thighs, 8 pieces. But in the process, we're going to break it down in half. So we're going to cut our chicken in half. So if you want to do a half roasted chicken, then we'll take it down into quarters. So if you wanted to have the leg-thigh combo, or if you just wanted to have the breast, you could have that as well. So sometimes it's kind of nice to just look to see if there's any excess fat that you want to trim away. Just get it out of your way. The tail you can lose too. And I keep a side bowl when I'm cleaning the chicken because I'm going to have a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, when I get this all broken down, I want to make chicken stock. And this is a huge benefit of breaking down a whole chicken and buying whole chickens. Once you have it boned out or meated out, whatever you got to do to it, you can save the carcass and bones and make outstanding chicken stock for any application you may need, whether it be soups, sauces. It'll be far better chicken stock than anything you can buy as a base. You can freeze it for later. It's a great thing to have around. So that's an extra bonus of buying a whole chicken. So as I mentioned, the keel bone runs right down the middle of the 2 breasts. And what we're going to wind up doing is, because we don't want to cut through bones whenever we don't have to, so we always kind of want to work around them. On the back side, there will be a backbone. And that's kind of the same way. We want to run right down the side. And if you use your fingers, you can push along the chicken. You can find a lot of the joints on where we're going to cut things. Well, let's just take the wings off first. And the best way to, when you're finding a joint, is you can work that a little bit, and you'll find out exactly where that joint is. And what can be beneficial, since you can't see it because of the skin and the meat, give it a quick little slit. That'll expose the joint so you can really find it really, really well. Then you don't have to worry about cutting through any bones, because once you find where that joint is, a lot of the joints are like this, and there's connective tissue in between there, but there's no bone in between. So once you find where that is, you can force it apart a little bit and cut right down between it with your knife. I just found my joint there. You can see how easy it is to cut because you're not cutting through any bone. You just separated that joint. I'm going to leave the wing on this side because we're going to show a different style of cut for a chicken breast. It's known as an airline chicken breast. If you're having a nice dinner party and you want to do something different, airline chicken breast just refers to, it's the chicken breast but it's going to have this first section of the wing attached to it. So if you do a nice seared airline chicken breast, it just makes for a nice, interesting presentation. Plus, when you leave the skin on in that application, it helps add a lot of flavor to the chicken. But on the other chicken breast, we'll skin that out, bone that out, so you have a boneless, skinless chicken breast. We're going to look at all kinds of ways to cut up this chicken. So then with your chicken, if you got your wings and you don't really have any use for them, great time to football season, chicken wings. You can save up your chicken wings after several batches of cutting up chickens. And you get yourself a really inexpensive way to start making chicken breasts or chicken wings for at home. So there's our chicken wings. So then, as I was saying, we're going to run right down the outside edge of this keel bone that runs in between the two chicken breasts. And like I said, that keel bone kind of runs like this, going to have this kind of shape to it. So you can feel where it is. You'll feel it right down the middle there. And since I said that bone kind of runs like this, we're going to bone out this chicken breast. And what all you're going to simply do is follow that bone line. So you just keep running your knife along there. We're just following the line. We're not cutting through any bones. We're just skimming right along it like filleting a fish. So, and as I mentioned, we're going to leave this one as a airline chicken breast. So I'm going to cut the end, pop that joint, find it. So then this makes an interesting presentation for a chicken breast. As you leave the skin on, you can sear that up, and then you'll have this first section of the wing on there. Just something you can do for something different, I guess. Otherwise, you can remove it. There we got 4 wings. So now we have our chicken breast. It's clean. If you want to make it a boneless, skinless chicken breast, nothing could be easier. Just simply remove the skin. It's that simple. So then you have a really nice, clean, boneless, skinless chicken breast. For a considerably cheaper price per pound than buying them pre-done in the store. Okay, so we got 1/2 of one breast off. I guess we'll breast out this other one. So we'll just do it, we'll show it again. I'm following down that bone line. And I'll make this one skinless as well. Now we get to the legs and thighs. Again, we can kind of see right through here. You can feel where the 2 joints are, and if you kind of wiggle that, you'll be able to feel that. And what we want to do is we're going to just kind of pop that joint a little bit so we can find it, because again, it's kind of like these 2 bones coming together, and we never have to cut through bones if we bone out a chicken right and we break it down properly. You'll feel it doesn't take much, it comes right out. Okay, and the same thing we're going to do with our, so we have our thigh portion and we have our leg portion, and right in there is another joint. And if you, again, use your fingers, you feel around, you'll find out exactly where these joints are. We have a leg. We have a thigh. So everybody was counting. We have 2, 4, what, seven pieces? 6 pieces? we're gonna get down to 8 here. Again with the other thigh. Quick little pop. Find your joint line. You notice I'm really not using any force to get through these joints because I'm finding the joint itself, and so we're not ever going through any bone. There's our other leg. And this goes really, really fast. Once you do a couple chickens, you'll have this thing broke down in about a minute and a half. But now, at the end of the day, I've got this carcass here. All these good bones, a little bit of meat hanging on there yet. That's great. We're putting that in our scrap pile too, because that's where we're going to make our stock. And as I was saying, this is going to make way better stock than anything you can make or buy in the grocery store. And it couldn't be easier. I got my chicken carcass and scraps and bones into the pot. To this I would add maybe a little garlic, some bay leaves, celery, carrot, and onion. Those 3 vegetables, carrot, celery, onion. It's known as mirepoix in French. It goes into everything. And the reason for it is because they're all aromatic vegetables and they add so much flavor and so much aroma to everything. Those 3 vegetables are going in here. I'm going to top it off with a little cold water. Always use stock with cold water. It'll help it from becoming less cloudy. Bring it up to a boil. Take it down to a simmer. Let that roll at a simmer for probably about 3 hours. That should be plenty with the chicken stock like this. Strain it off, cool it. Then you can use it right away. You can bag it and freeze it for later. But again, it's just one more benefit, one more thing you can get, one more use out of buying a whole chicken. So there we have it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then those would be our 7, 8-piece chicken. So you've got a lot of meals out of this one maybe $4 chicken. These chicken breasts are huge. So there's a meal, there's a meal. These you can keep building up, save in the freezer for later. If you don't want them for anything else, toss them in with your stock. They make great stock as well because they've got a lot of bone in them. And that's how you break down a whole chicken.